Now, this is an entry made by Anne Frank in her diary for the first time. The letter was dated Saturday, 20th June 1942, and it was written as Dearest Kitty. Kitty is actually the name of the diary she had kept. She had considered her diary as a real friend, a friend in imagination, but whom she would be very close to. So just imaginative friend. But actually she was calling her diary as Kitty. So, dearest Kitty, our entire class is quaking in its boots. Now she is describing one of the events of her life. It was the scene of her class. Our entire class is quaking in its boots. That means the whole class was, nervous. The reason, of course, is the forthcoming meeting in which the teachers decide who will move up to the next form and who will be kept back. So it was the day when they would be, told about the result. So they were just worrying whether they would pass or fail. Half the class is making bets. GN and I laugh ourselves silly at the two boys behind us. Children were betting with each other whether they would pass or fail. And GN, one of her friends, and Anne herself, they laughed, at them, the way two boys were behaving behind them. CN and Jax, who have staked their entire holiday savings on their bet, they had used their entire holiday savings on their bet. What was the bet? Whether they would pass or fail. From morning to night, it's you are going to pass. No, I am not. Yes, you are. No, I am not. Even G's pleading glances and my angry outbursts can't calm them down. They got so bored. G and Anne. They got bored with such things, and G was pleading, telling them to, politely to, with her glances only, to be quiet, to stop doing that. And Anne was like outspoken, so she, got angry and she said something to them, but nothing could calm them down. If you ask me, there are so many dummies that about a quarter of the class should be kept back. But teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on earth. Now here we find that she had an opinion on everything. She thought that a quarter of her class was full of dull people, dull children, signifying that she herself was intelligent enough to make it to the next class. Moreover, she thought teachers as the most unpredictable creatures on earth because nobody could say which students they would fail and which students would be passed on to the next class. I'm not so worried about my girlfriends and myself. We will make it. So she was sure that she and her girlfriends would pass clearly. So she was not that worried. The only subject I am not sure about is maths. She was not very good in maths, so she was worrying over this subject, maths. Anyway, all we can do is wait. But they had no other way out than to wait. Until then, we keep telling each other not to lose heart. Until then, what were they doing? They were just, telling each other not to lose heart. That means not to lose hope. I get along pretty well with all my teachers. There are 9 of them, 7 men and 2 women. Here she has given the description and the detail of her teachers in the school. Mr. Keesing, the old fogey who teaches maths, was annoyed with me for ages. She used to think that Mr. Keesing, the old fogey, means old, excessively conservative and old-fashioned person who teaches maths, was annoyed, did not like her. Annoyed with me for ages means he used to dislike her. because I talked so much, because she was very talkative. Now here we come to know from this sentence that she was fond of talking. So much so that one of the teachers used to get annoyed with this behavior of her. After several warnings, he assigned me extra homework. He had given her several warnings because of her talkativeness, and he had assigned her extra homework also as punishment, or as um, reprimanding her. An essay on the subject. A chatterbox, a chatterbox. What can you write about that? He had given one extra homework, that was as a punishment, that to write an essay on the subject, a chatterbox. So this chatterbox was pointing towards whom? Towards Anne Frank. That means her teacher used to think that she was very talkative, and he used to get annoyed by her talkativeness so much that he gave her an essay to write an essay on the subject, a chatterbox, as a punishment. Now she was thinking, what can you write about that? A chatterbox. I would worry about that later, I decided. I jotted down the title in my notebook, tucked it in my bag, she put it in her bag and tried to keep quiet. Then when he gave the punishment to her, such punishment, she tried to keep quiet after that.